Good morning, it's September 12th. Wanted to put out a quick little video to talk about being kind to our office people and our processors. Most of y'all know that we're a W-2 operation. We utilize a lot of different crews. And our office manager, Shandell Hovey, most of y'all had the privilege of meeting her if you're in NAMPS or been at different conferences that we've been around and gone to. And I spend a lot of time in the office with her, and I look at what our guys are doing. For a successful business, efficiency and how you do things dictates paying attention to what the crews are doing, understanding what your client expectations are, and kind of seeing how it all flows together. So I spend a lot of time with Shandell, and we look at what our guys are doing, their faults out in the field. Maybe they did a good day, maybe they did a great performance in the day, but somehow their paperwork was lacking, or we didn't quite manage to read that work order properly, so we let our client down in a different direction. It's good to have good quality, good performance, but if we're missing reading the paperwork, then that job's really not 100% anyway, so your due dates can be compromised. But more importantly, when I sit and listen sometimes when the guys don't know I'm in the office, I sometimes cringe at the way my guys call in and talk to Shandell, who, is basically not laying out policy. Shandell's just trying to do her job so that when she passes it on to our client, that, our client can do their job and get it to their client. Remember, guys, in some of the earlier videos we talk about, this is all a symbiont relationship. We're all in this to do a good job, hopefully to make some money and keep our families fed, and kind of like doing what we do for a living. If you're so unhappy in the property preservation industry, maybe it's time to think about a new career. If you really spend every day bitching and moaning about our industry and complaining about pricing, complaining about getting out there, I just don't like that I have to do this, do that, and you can't find that joy anymore, then maybe it's time to move on. And that's cool. I mean, I've been at that point myself, don't get me wrong. Until I finally met a great national that took care of our company, I was at that every day. Today I boycott or campaign for my other brothers and sisters who are probably where I was a couple of years ago. We don't have the pricing pain points today anymore because we've learned to work with professionals and stand up for what we feel is right. If you want a great service and you want dependability and you want to know that we care about your property, then you need to compensate me for it. However, my message today was, guys, if you're in the field and you're a contractor, you're self-employed and you do the work yourself and your wife might process, your sister may process, you hire someone to do your processing. I know it's difficult. As we go out there during the day and we work really hard and we're tired, we really don't want to answer questions about the property and we can't really remember everything. Therein lies the answer. Better documentation while you're at the property will solve your problems. So many times when I go out, and believe it or not, I'm the owner of a company that is pretty successful by all standards, but I still go out in the field and work myself. The first thing I do, guys, when I go out there, I take a picture of my work order, the top part of the work order that shows the address. And why I'm doing that is because I'm conscientiously studying that house number. I know that we're all moving to this instant freaking nice technology, and the thing tells you, how are you doing, Mr. Douglas? Are you having a great day? Wow, you're at the right place. You're at the, awesome. What if you don't have cell signal? What if you don't have your GPS working? I don't know. I'm old school. I rely on my, number one tool. So I take a picture of that, and it gives me a second chance to review exactly what I'm doing there. What does the work order entail? What are the general instructions and what are the special instructions? Sometimes you have conflicting information on the work order. Sometimes it may tell you to take everything. Sometimes it may tell you up to 12 yards. It may take 2 yards. Read the work order and have an understanding. Here's my thought. When you take that picture and you don't have a clear understanding, stop immediately and get on the phone and be polite. Call your person in the office or call the client direct and ask them. There are no stupid questions in our industry. They are going to appreciate that you took the time to contact them and ask them how to properly perform that work order as a professional and you're going to actually get paid the right amount of money. You're not going to have a chargeback, a go back, a do yada yada. We have to be professional. Anyway, once I understand what I'm going to do, I go and I photo document it. And one thing I like to do, guys, is if you ever sat in your office and watched what other people are doing, understand there's a rhyme and a reason to how we take photographs. You have to get into a pattern. Most of the time now in our grass cuts, we're also taking interior photos. I choose to take my identification photos, my street sign, my work orders first, my street sign, front of the house number. I take a picture down the street, show what the condition of the neighborhood is. Before I start any of the grass photos or doing anything like that, I'm going to go inside the house where I'm already fresh, I'm clean, I'm not tracking back in that house, and I'm going to go ahead and document that interior of the house. And don't just do the simple 3, 4, 5 photos and think you're out the door. Guys, this is where you make money. This is your opportunity. Whether you're there to cut a simple grass cut, look for the conditions in the house. You want to look at, whatever. First, number one, I'm in Florida. If you're in Florida, we have faulty roofs. An asset cannot be sitting without AC running. The relative humidity becomes so unbearable in there that somehow water's going to breach through. Without AC in there, you're going to have mold starting. Great money-making things. You're also preserving the asset. In Florida, if we do not diagnose and correct an emergent roof condition, that can get away from you and cause full-bloom mold, and that whole asset can be compromised to a tune of $30,000, $40,000. It's very serious what we do. A lot of people don't know the difference of mold. Is it aspergillium? Is it penicillium? Is it Stachybotrys charum? That's not as important as getting an idea of it. Let me break it down to you from a layman. If you walk in and you see black mold everywhere, that's the black toxic mold. That's Stachybotrys charum. If you go into a kitchen and have you ever noticed like a white powdery film on everything and you touch it and it's nasty, that's your penicillium type mold. Your aspergillium that's going to be on there that is not as vibrant, it's not as vivid, but it's like